millennial.
Oh,
Yeah. We got millennials, take one.
We're here today because millennials has been a pretty hot topic for, Nicole, you said about 2010. It's really...
I think like it started becoming more of a discussion around 2010.
Yeah, and then we sort of reached a big peak, I feel like, in January last month. One of those was a video from Simon Sinek, and he had a video of like millennials in the workplace, and it's got over 50 million views to date.
The generation that we call the millennials, too many of them grew up subject to, not my words, failed parenting strategies. Some kids got participation medals. You got a medal for coming in last.
All three of us here work for a company. Well, we are the company SixFive Interactive, and so it's a company that I founded. I'm Tyler Bryden.
I'm Alex Brutsky.
That was a very thick accent.
You gotta have it in there, eh?
And I'm Nicole Conan.
So between us, we just do a bunch of stuff, but we sort of consider ourselves a techno-culture company. So we use a lot of technology, but we also try to cover the culture side of it. And I think that's why we're so excited to be here today and talk about some millennial stuff. It's been big in pop culture, big across the internet, and big in cultural in general. First, I guess I want to go quickly with
do the official
millennial. You know what the craziest part to me about this is that there is like no official definition.
Yeah,
like, I tried to look it online, and they just don't even know. Like it's the known millennials, also known as Generation Y, are the demographic cohort following Generation X. So marked by an increase in familiarity with communications and digital technology, but the date range that they have starting in 1982 and then going up to 2004, which to me is like a massive range.
That is huge.
So
that's huge.
I want to, I guess we can start there. Like
those people are very different.
That's what
people from 1982 are very different from people from 2004.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. For me, I'm a 92. You guys are both 93s,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
like for me,
We're close.
We're pretty close. Like I find like 91, 92, 93. And then but as soon as I go into 94, 95, they're different people.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
find
I have a
like,
brother from 95,
Yeah.
and yes, he is a totally different person.
Well, why do you guys think that is? Like, what happened in that time? The
was-
internet.
yeah. Well, and the internet, and then the technology that came along with it too. And I think
Yes.
like we had a big chance to get familiar with technology, but even a person in 95, 1998, 2004, they grew up with a lot more technology than we did. You
Right?
know, like,
Yeah, no, kids these days, I've seen like 6-year-olds with like iPads, but they know how to use it.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
It's great. I had to lie. Like I had to pretend I had an iPod in high school too,
Yeah.
so I could get one. So like
Yeah.
we weren't allowed to get like phones, like cell phones. And then like now I look around, like 5-year-olds, they're chilling with them. Man.
Yeah.
It's like, this is crazy to me.
Well, to me, the whole thing is like you brought up guinea pigs for tech,
Yeah.
and that is actually kind of scary because tech does a lot to your psyche,
Oh, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And humans have never been able to communicate with anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
And people are forming relationships online and everything like that, and every relationship is just as valid. But since everyone is showing their highlight reel, you don't know
Highlight reel.
Yeah.
who's the real person anymore.
Yeah. That kind of takes a toll on relationships these days because now you have things like Tinder where you can just like swipe and like get in like instant relationships. Basically.
Yeah.
Like you have a catalog of humans, and that's why a lot of people are kind of criticizing relationships today, saying that we don't like to fix our relationships. Whereas in the older generations, like they were in it, and like if something went wrong, they would fix it, they would commit. And they're saying that this generation today, when it comes to relationships, we have so many options.
It's the whole thing is like that. What previously was a very long, extended thing has been reduced to bit-sized things.
Yeah.
Just relationships in general. Like we're taking data in bit size, but we're also taking relationships and everything. So it's not just everything. Like relationship is like reading a whole book. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We don't want to do that. We want to get the highlight reel, like you
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
and get in, get out, find the fun part, and then extract that, and
Yeah.
then move to the next and get more fun. So
You kind of got to market yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like, I see some articles just pop up lately of like people who are like, advertising their like conversion rate on Tinder. You know what I mean? Like response rate. Like I have 100% response rate on Tinder. It's like, you know what? Back in the day, like that was just not a thing that
You look like it's a kook back then.
Yeah. But that's another thing that I think is really funny, and we both just said it. It was I brought it up was like the back in the day, and like I'm 24, like and I'm already saying back in the day, and I feel like we're really romancing this idea of back in the day.
Yeah.
But back in the day, things weren't always that great, and we're really.
No, I'd rather live now than any other time in the past.
Exactly. Well, like, and it's not going to go back. You know what I mean? Like it's and everyone wants to go back on simple shit. No, it's too late, guys. Like we're a little too deep into this. I think that it's more
everything you think your privacy is gone. Google knows it all.
So I guess here's 7 basic traits of the millennial cohort.
Oh,
so
I like this.
Yeah.
So show me.
Special, sheltered, confident, team-oriented, conventional, pressured, and achieving.
Huh.
Those were the 7 words. What do you guys think about that?
Interesting. I mean, sheltered. I feel like that's actually kind of true.
Oh, hey,
These are obviously, I'm very biased. I relate to quite a lot of that. Confident, not so much. I actually feel I feel the opposite. I feel a lot of millennials are actually the opposite of that because personally, I am not confident in social situations because I think. Actually, they even say that social anxiety is on the rise because millennials don't really know how to communicate the way that we used to because of we have things like the internet and a lot of us talk through text and that's sometimes hard to read and sometimes misunderstood. And
when you get a phone call, you're terrified.
Am I the only one that feels that way?
all the time.
Something is wrong. This person is calling me. This is horrible. It's so funny. Oh man, that's hilarious.
But I think pressured is a huge one, and I think millennials have a lot of weight on our shoulders from our parents saying, "You need to get a job, but you need to spend." The average student debt is around $30,000 to $40,000.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
No, exactly.
And we're taking on that debt, expecting to get a job right when we're out of school, but the job market is constantly changing, and that's not guaranteed.
Yeah. Well, and I like what you said too about the the confidence level because bringing it back to what you said about the highlight reel, I think we're all sort of displaying that confidence on the outer, but it's that insecurity underneath that's outlining the nice Instagram posts and the Facebook.
Yeah.
So it's a tough contrast between those two, and I think a lot of that happens with the pressure too. Is that we want to live up to that Instagram life when it might not be so shiny with what's going on day to day and really. So I think that's interesting.
I definitely feel pressured and sheltered.
Good, yeah.
Pressured and sheltered, I definitely feel. Those two are true. Special, not so much. I feel like, we're seeing many people do fantastic things online all the time. It's very easy to just see that you're, I don't want to say anything like not a cog in the machine, but you have your place and, you are not the one jumping off sky. You're not the one jumping off buildings doing backflips. That's not you.
So we were talking about the VR a little bit about how we didn't get born into VR quite. Especially the 82s definitely didn't. Like they're coming in hot at 35 and they're going to try VR for the first time. I tried for the first time last year, but literally there's going to be babies with VR headsets on coming soon. And they all that's they're going to be growing up and they're going to be talking to their mom and then they're going to put a headset on the baby and then they're going to be this is also my reality. That's how much of a drastic gap that is to me when I didn't have that. Even when I was playing, it was on a computer that was on a different screen or
exactly.
That's different.
I watched my brother play because he kicked my ass every time. So I didn't bother.
But how do you think that's going to affect people when we have this virtual reality? I feel like because virtual reality, we can make it perfect. We can make it addicting, and obviously it's gonna be. And
because that's what we'll sell.
That's the point. Yeah, exactly.
A shitty VR will sell.
That's the only thing Zuckerberg wants it. He wants to make this a thing. So,
it's gonna be like a sci-fi movie or something.
It will be. Well, and I just think if we talk about it now, it's just everyone especially right now, everyone seems to be living in their own reality. The facts aren't getting through. It's not we're not really focused on this objective reality. It's more of what is the reality I've created, and that's only going to continue.
I have friends down in southern states, they're military people, and I have friends in art school and med school, in Berlin.
Yeah.
I got nothing in common with these people.
And how did you meet them? Over the internet?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The art community is very strong on the internet, and we just chat with people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with meeting someone online, worlds away. If you get along with that person, sure.
Plus, it's you're saying, you're meeting people that you like and that you connect with. And I know that for the LGBT community, online is huge. Tumblr, so many relationships have started on Tumblr because you're meeting people that you connect with. And also, if you're closeted and there's no one in your community that is LGBT or that you feel safe with, going online, going to chat rooms, it's huge. And you feel like you're finally understood. And that's the same with mental health. I'm depressed, but I don't want to come out to my family about my depression. So you go on these chat rooms and stuff, and you feel the sense of solidarity, and you connect with people that are going through the same thing, and you grow empathy, and so that's huge.
Is that, and that's a point that I sort of wanted to bring up too, was that what you just said too, of like you can find these people online and you can feel like even me, like I'll go online and like, wow, I'm connecting with this person, but they could have left that comment 2 months ago, and you're just reading the forum now. They might not even be alive. No, like literally, like,
exactly.
That's
like, the thing is, like, let's say you form a relationship with someone who is, and you're really close with this person, but you never know their real name.
Yeah.
Right, and all of a sudden, gone. They don't
stop
talk for a
posting
day.
on the forum.
They don't talk for 2 days, and they're gone all of a sudden.
That's a terrifying thing.
What happens next? Like, your mind, logically, you're just like, this is a person on the internet. I never knew the real person.
Yeah.
But your heart is just like, oh man, this person was like, a brother or a sister or like a best friend to me. Like, what happened?
Is that why like our generation is like staggeringly depressed? I feel like, and it will continue.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's only going to continue. It's like, is that why? Is one of the reasons why is because we're talking to these people online that we feel so connected to, but we're still not getting that in-person connection that we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
That realistically, we are still, our DNA and stuff is still very tribal. Of that we want to be close, connected, and like in person.
We still want to be sociable.
We still want to be sociable, and we are online, but at the same time, it's still not that same.
It's halfway there.
It's the same film, exactly. It's and are we getting it? Is VR going to bring us closer to that or farther apart? You see like Facebook Live, their demo was like, it was these goofy characters and you were sort of like in a live chat, but it was VR and you were with your friends, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool, very cool, but at the same time, that's not quite there. Like, I don't know if that will ever be fulfilling, especially to our generation. Maybe, will we ever be truly content with knowing all these people, but not really ever knowing them the way that previous generations knew people, I guess.
Yeah, because we grew up in the real world. We had our childhood in forests, and we were building things, and when we felt something, we felt it real, and we knew that was reality. It's
that
gonna
hurt.
be
Yeah.
I fell from a tree. That kind of hurt. But it will be interesting when kids have that accessibility to virtual realities, and when they feel something in that virtual reality, will they know it's real? Will they start questioning reality? Will they want that to become their reality? And it's going to kind of mess with people's psyches.
And to extend upon that is like augmented reality. So virtual reality, but then augmented reality, like where you basically wear glasses, or like basically they want to bring contact lenses, and like you're seeing something implanted into like a physical space, but it's virtual. Like to me, that's like you're almost giving someone schizophrenia. You know what I mean? Like you're like that's like you're like that before. If you were imagining something, great. But that was if you saw something that wasn't there before, that was considered crazy. You know what I mean? And now that's what the goal is.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think, and like you said, we have no idea what this is doing to our psyche, or it's too much. It's too much, and we don't know. And like I think altogether, all the generations, like we got to just have a little bit more empathy for ourselves, and like. We're all trying to deal with some stuff right now.
We're very hard on ourselves. Like you said, pressured and everything, and we are very hard on ourselves. Know that, like, no one is king shit of Turd Island, right? We're all in this together, We're all on this big blue rock together, and in the end, like, any content anyone shares, you got to check the facts. Because I think the number one most dangerous thing about the internet is that there's a lot of baseless shit on there. And people take it as fact. And,
alternative facts.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you see examples of politicians posting from The Onion all the time, right? Like, ridiculous.
It's a very interesting time, I think, right now, and not just the millennial generation, but I think all generations together have to combine and work through this together, because there's a lot of stuff coming our way right now, and we all got a little bit of anxiety and stress right now, and it's up to us to deal with it together and not be divided.
The millennials are no longer bound by country, border, religion,
exactly.
anything like that, money, we are all able to communicate to each other, and we are all able to sympathize with anyone across the world, which is why we care so much about if something is ecologically friendly, if it's like, humane.
Yes.
Of course, that's a big one. I would never buy from a company that just stomps on dogs.
Yeah.
And it used to be that they could keep that shit hidden. But now I have people
too much,
where that company is that will take pictures of people stomping on dogs, and I'm like, I'm not buying from you. So
awesome.
we have the power.
Yeah.
And we might as well empower ourselves to be able to turn this world into something we want, which is one of a world of peace. I always say peace, and I want nothing more than that.
Sure. That's a great way to end it, man.
Yeah.
I guess, nice. Thanks to everyone for watching. Have a good week.
Have a good week. Yes, of course. Yeah. We'll see if that makes it.
Yeah.